Alright, what's good everyone on YouTube and Twitch? This is Very Melon Man and welcome back to my Baldur's Gate 3 Sword Lock Let's Play. So, off camera I did pretty much all the busy work in order to get to doing the blood... this particular quest line right here. Which included going into these places in order to unlock these locations, using grease on these statues in order to get them to move. And by grease, I mean grease bottles that I had and no other use for. Yeah. Stealing stuff with the ceremonial warhammer as well. Stealth. And all this happening pretty much to lead us to here. So, this is one of the legendary weapons you get in the game, the Blood of Lathander. And you can get this at the tail end of Act 1 if you are basically following the quest line to the Githyanki Creche. But you have to do a bunch of stuff outside the monastery first before you go inside, like I just showed you. And if we had this thing when we went to the Blighted Shadowlands, it would have been somewhat easier for us, shedding light in combat.
Ornate mace hovers before you, suspended in a shaft of brilliant light. A fist-sized piece of amber flecked with crimson is set in the handle, emitting a radiance all its own. This mace certainly has a very unusual design. You feel your patron's presence nearby, and hums with an unfamiliar anxiety. Taking such a holy weapon would be diabolical indeed, but the consequences disastrous.
What's the worst that could happen? Shadowheart disapproves, but Astarion will naturally approve, because of course Astarion approves of taking powerful stuff. So, if you pick up the note outside the monastery, it warns us about this weapon. It's a giant laser that only has one purpose: to destroy the monastery itself.
Everything is in motion. All within these walls are doomed to destruction unless you act.
And this would matter.
Get me out of this.
Escape the crush or disarm the device.
Looking at it.
Alright. Alright, we're going to dash. Oh, okay. Well, you just switch stuff over here.
Good thing it went up. Now to get out of here.
What next?
Alright. Alright. Okay.
Watch the shadows.
Do that. And then we dash again. So you can get out of here. Instead of going to the vines, what we're going to do is...
Maybe later.
Now, you gotta go. And the reason this matters usually is because you're under the assumption that you don't want to, like,
This way.
blow up the crash. But there's literally nothing inside, so there's nothing for us to, like, save, really.
Worth a shot.
So...
To do. The machine.
Alright.
It's going to blow.
Alright.
Keep a blade close.
And... you're gonna jump too. This is hilarious. And not what I was expecting at all.
Yes, let's.
This way.
Actually, we'll just turn this off.
Have a lot on my mind. Well, in it.
Oh. Oh, okay, so it's a game over. Alright. Alright, well, that's interesting. I guess there's no way to escape it then. Alright. The knots. There we go. That'll also take... Now we have the Blood Levander without a threat of it blowing up.
Let's get on with it.
Send it to Shadowheart. And for what it's worth, give it to you.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Oh. Alright. Well, with that taken care of, let's head to the Emerald Grove. Not for a specific reason. I just felt like it's a lot better to go to the Grove for a nice, bright place to level up. Alright, so now I want something that's a lot more... We can get counter spell again if we spell again. We lost it last time. But Grant Flight was so convenient. Still, might as well get counter spell. For taking out Ice Knife. And yeah, we took a Hypnosis spell keep people from knowing we're even there. Now we went as far as we could in the fighter. Now we gotta go back to barbarian for additional rage charge and minus rage. Starion, we're definitely going to Rogue 3 so that he can get 2. Two bonus actions. Arcane Trickster, Thief, which gives us, you know, bonus actions. More bonus actions. Which means bonus actions more than once. Ability improvement. Wisdom 18 for her. And another spell. So this time we're going to take the level 4 Guardian of Faith. Call forth a Divine Guardian that attacks nearby enemies. That's us level 8. And yeah. Hypnotic Pattern hypnotizes a creature that so they cannot attack you, move, or act. But it's a concentration spell. So this is a crowd control concentration spell, not something you want to use. You want to use haste. But it's up to you. And with that taken care of, we're going to go get some more stuff from Act 2.
Shadow and Tangle.
Start us off. Although it looks like what we actually need to do is go to Moonlight Towers to find Wraithwayne Inn. Wraithwayne Town. Sorry about that. Yeah, basically what I'm doing here is cleaning up stuff we missed from earlier on before we actually finish off Act 2 as a whole. Really try to scrape out as much as we can.
Jahira wants to know about supplies. Can we make it home? Burning.
So off we go to Wraithwayne Town. Wraithwayne. There we go. Basically, up that undiscovered part of land we found. That's where we want to go now. Because that is where we're going to get our first Wraithwing Mason Guild. We're not going to go back in there, though.
Hey! I know.
Yeah, Arabella, what's up?
Twist 'em up.
Hey, that's Arabella. Kid from the Druid's Grove. That snake woman nearly did her in. Looks like she's learned a thing or two.
Yeah, she has.
Sorry. Knocks the wind right out of me.
I'm more impressed she actually killed it.
I don't know how. I'd kill them all if I could. I just want my mum and Pops. We followed Zevlor out here. Then well, there was an ambush. Mum yelled, "Run!" So we ran. I could hear him run behind me. Till I couldn't. Still can't find him.
Wow.
But I bet you can. You'll help me, I just know it.
I'll find parents in Connie.
Thanks, mister. I knew you'd help me again. The vines won't last forever. I don't suppose I can stay with you. Just till you find Mum and Pops. I won't be any trouble, I swear it.
Same I can.
Oh, thanks. You're the best.
I was
So
really
you
struggling to
Pop
figure out
there.
if sending her to the
I'll
camp
be
was
waiting.
better.
Hero man.
Alright. So, alright. House of Healing again.
The doctor's found oblivion. Well, no time to mourn. I'll fix this without him.
Is that Arabella's father she's tending? Our little idol thief has some terrible luck.
Why are you tending a dead body?
Not dead. Merely medicated to ease the pain.
Alright, now where does she go? And she should be over here. Alright.
Hey, you. I made it. Easy peasy. You find Mum and Pops?
Your parents are gone. Sorry.
No. No. I don't believe you.
I'm sorry, Abba.
It isn't true. It isn't. Get away from me. Go.
Do you know what happens when a devil is struck down on this charming plane of existence? We delivered the... Indeed, as you... The right. If all...
We already saw this.
But the only... You...
It's a lot to take in. What do you think I should do? You'll never leave. But if I'm... And I need you to help me.
Alright. Okay. Was not expecting that to happen after long resting again. Okay.
Leave.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Now we need to try a long rest again. Hopefully it'll work now.
I don't believe it. They can't be.
Breathe, child. Resist not the winds of change. Let them carry thee.
No.
Oh man.
Listen. Dost thou not hear it? Where creation meets ruin, where morning meets midnight, the root of all being. Balance.
They're dead. I can't.
I mean, it's a lot for a kid to take in, regardless of situation. And I guess Withers is trying to help her.
Tangled in shadow. Arabella's magic, wild as cursed.
And
fire.
this is how we get it.
Her talent is now yours too.
The girl must learn the ways of the arcane, but she shan't remain here.
Where will she go then?
The weave knows her purpose. It will guide her plainly, if she listens. Arabella holds a power beyond reckoning, that of the decaying forest and the seedling that bore it. But it is unbalanced. Her yoke is already heavy. If she walks thy path,
She has much power in the Force. She does.
Arabella will depart once thou dost leave these accursed lands. She will find her way safely.
Trust in the Force. She must.
Bowman, you're making me leave.
Fear not, girl. Abandon not the weave, and it shall not abandon thee.
You can trust Withers. Really, he knows his stuff about magic.
were your own. There is a lightness in her now, veiling the power within, soothing it.
Is that my future? Is that why they died?
It is.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Bowman, for being nice. If there are people like you around, perhaps everything will be all right.
Wayfarers encourage Arabella to learn the ways of the weave, shut the fire away in the world. As a result, we see Shadow Blade Ring. Airbattle, Shadow Entangle, and Entangle Undead and Shadow Creatures with a concentration spell. This would have been nice to have at the beginning of the game, but, you know, at the beginning of Act 2, but like I said.
Full-fledged vampires are not so easily slain. Astarion's master will be no exception. Fortunate for him, slaying monstrous fanatics is a pastime of ours.
Halsey, do you have anything to say about literally anything just happened?
Oakfather preserve you.
Do you know Jaheira?
Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt.
What could you possibly have left to learn from anyone, though?
No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Would she have helped the refugees? Defended the Grove? Controlled Korga? At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal.
All right. Okay.
Hello, my dear.
I can't imagine how Astarion must be. When the time comes, Astarion will have his revenge.
Alright.
It seems like Cazador used Astarion's flesh not as...
We're going to keep Astarion.
Alright.
In my years as the but Thorn. And lest we forget, we've our very own vampire. Now, how...
Dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth.
Alright. Okay, what was it this time?
He gives in and surrenders.
Alright. Okay, so with that taken care of, now we're gonna go might as well just do the seal.
done.
Alright, so hide. That gives me this much massive advantage. Especially since we now have a new... Nice. Oh boy. There's one other
No time to rest.
magic cross longbow we could have gotten for Starion if we had kept a certain merchant from Act 1 alive. But she was in the goblin camp and we had to get rid of her, so that's what happened. Now we're going back to Moonrise Towers in order to get another permanent buff. The Potion of Everlasting Vigor. And we will definitely need a Starion for that because he's the only way we can get it.
They'll be loot enough to make us lords.
Lords.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
Alright, man.
Araj Oblodra, trader in blood and the sanguineous arts. It is a pleasure to stand before a true soul and your pale companion. I'd like to offer my services, if you're willing.
Why are you still my pale friend?
Please. You think someone in my line of work wouldn't recognize a vampire spawn when they see one? I trade in blood, and the potions that can be wrung from it. I'm more than happy to make you one, if you'd honor me with your blood. With one drop, I can brew a rather potent potion for you. The rest, I keep for myself.
Sounds interesting. Let's do it.
Just a little prick and it's all over. Close your eyes. There we are. All of your very best traits in a bottle. Use it well. Although perhaps there's one more thing we could discuss. Your vampiric friend.
Oh, don't worry. We're all friends under the Absolute. I won't bite.
Oh, I'd prefer if you did. I assume he belongs to you?
He's his own person.
I'm sure he really believes that. How utterly adorable. Do you have a name, Spawn?
Astarion, but hold on.
Good. Now, Astarion. I've dreamt of being bitten by a vampire since I was a young girl.
Wow.
I'm sorry. You want to be bitten?
Oh my god.
To feel your life's blood slipping away. To dance on the edge between life and death.
My god.
Yes.
The mocappers have to be given applause.
A potion of legendary power
Just
forever increases the strength of the one who consumes it. It's not for sale, but it's yours if you bite me.
I will have to decline.
Excuse me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you're squandering it.
I gave you my answer.
Can't you talk some sense into your obstinate charge?
I mean, from my perspective, it seems a little unreasonable to be weird like this.
I'm sorry, but could you excuse us a moment?
This really doesn't sound like you.
You're actually asking me to do this? Trading me for some potion? Because there's something wrong with her blood. I can smell it from here. It's rank.
The man who told us at the beginning of the game, yeah, let's totally use these tadpoles to increase their powers, is getting weird about basically drinking some blood. Astarion still needs to drink blood specifically as well in order to get some like potions and stuff. Hold on a second. Isn't that worth a bad tasting mouth, Duddy?
I suppose you have a point.
I don't have all day, true soul.
Fine. I'll do it. Darling, I've had a sudden change of heart. After all, who could resist such a delectable neck? Hold very, very still.
Incredible. Incredible.
Oh my god, is drow blood always that nasty?
Not to your taste.
You're fetid, full of corruption.
I feel exquisite, though. So here's my part of the bargain. I hope you find it as satisfying as I found this. It was everything I imagined, and then more. I'll be able to put this to good use.
Elixir of Tiefling Vice. And Potion of Everlasting Vigor.
If only he had gone further.
Permanently increases your strength by 2. And Elixir of Tiefling Vice. You can call on Dayblock Arcana to cast Thaumaturgy. Hellish Rebuke, Burning Hands, and Flame Blade each only once to your next long rest. Bonus action, single use. That's just a rare potion. The real benefit is getting the Potion of Everlasting Vigor to make one of your characters have a permanent buff to strength.
Welcome back, true soul.
Show me your stock. What else do you have? Circle of Hunting, you gain bonus to attack rolls against creatures marked by Hunter's Mark, Cruise Strike, Fairy Fire, and Guiding Bolt. So, on its face, this is very handy, and I might even think about Robe of Exquisite Focus. +1 bonus to spell save DC. Rain free action. You ignore the effects of difficult terrain. Ooh. Arcane Bolstering. Risky Ring. You gain advantage on attack rolls for these disadvantage and saving throws.
Come back.
Trust no one.
A little saliva. Saving that.
Let's see here.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
No one's stopped me yet.
Karlak. Astarion.
Over here.
Yeah, okay.
To waste.
We're gonna do this again. Alright.
Careful, I might.
So basically what we have here is alright. Next we're going to cunning action hide.
Let's go to the shadows.
Then we're going to pickpocket.
Let's have a rummage.
Caught in the act. Your touch isn't as light as you'd hoped.
Oh my god. And that's basically the best way for us to steal stuff as Astarion from now on. I know it seems a little weird, but
Caught red-handed. Perhaps you should practice on a...
There is work to do.
and we do this, and that's basically the idea.
Still breathing, despite everything. I was trying to concentrate.
Move over to someone for Astarion, then disengage with this cloak I have on, and that causes the blindfold status to show up. After that, you use cunning action hide. Then you do a quick save to hide yourself to reload against any errors you make. And more Wyvern Toxin if we wanted.
What to do?
Alright. And because of that, we just have a bunch of stuff in our inventory now we can use. So for the moment, what we're going to do is have Karlach taken out of our party in order to put Gale in it.
Hey. Sounds boring. Oh, fine.
Because we... Huh. Thought you said she was going to leave next time we came here. Oh well.
How can I help? With...
Alright. So first, we're just going to give Gale some of the stuff we took from it as Astarion. The Robe of Exquisite Focus. We'll also give you the... I guess we'll keep the Ring of Reaction, though, because we're not really interested in using you for the moment. But yeah, with Gale... Wow, yeah, Gale, we have not used you forever. But you finally have a much better piece of equipment. Wow!
Never a dull moment.
Alright.
What can it do once it's extracted?
Nothing good can come of it unless it is contained. Why?
It might be useful. Who knows?
Alright. Now I do upstairs. Back to Balthazar's room, I think, is the best way to put it. Okay, so we already did that. Luckily, we can just do this here. Get the heart. Then move it over here. Put the heart.
So, do you have loves waiting for you once this is all over?
You know what? That is not the easiest of questions for me to answer.
You mean just waiting? Like a lovesick puppy? Short-term amusements are much less hassle.
Yeah, it's just a PS5 thing. Secrets of the Necromancer, inspiring my character.
Your desire.
And Gale at the same time.
The necromancer was experimenting on the tadpoles.
Ritual circle. Judging by the shadow sigils inscribed, it was used in the creation of Balthazar's moon lanterns. Though its power is weakened, you could still use the shattered pixies Balthazar discarded.
Oh,
to
man.
craft one final lantern. Not to repel the shadows, but to wield them. Mystra forbids the use of such magic. She would insist the sigils be destroyed, the circle's evil dissipated. But she is not here.
Yeah, we're gonna do a big naughty thing that Mystra would not approve of. Erase the sigil.
It doesn't take much. The sigils fade, the circle's tainted magic dissolving harmlessly into the ether. For the briefest moment, you feel the touch of a reassuring hand on your shoulder. Mystra has noted your service.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Did you feel that? If I wasn't surrounded on all sides by the darkness of the shadow-cursed lands, I'd think it was Mystra herself brushing against my skin.
I felt it too. A sensation not dissimilar to something a tendril of the weave, the weaker.
Not weak, but subtle. Mystra knows it is a risk to make herself known here, however briefly. After all, this cursed place is not hers, but Shah's. Mystra came here with a purpose. She's left some tiny part of herself to watch over me, I think. A boon to help us reach the heart of the Absolute in one piece.
Given what we're up against, I'm grateful for the help.
Strange, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Service now.
We already know one god in this game is a lying sack of crap.
Perhaps I'm overthinking things. A blessing's a blessing. And this one should come in most useful.
Alright. So, Gale's unique permanent buff is Mysterious Benevolence, giving him advantage of concentration checks. And that's all we have for him. Really.